Hey everyone, welcome back to Obsec Tactics. Today we're going to be going through the changes to the Grand Tournament Pack 2021.
Yeah, so we've got the new secondaries, we're comparing them to the old ones, and all of them are playable now. Previously, in the 2020 pack, there were a number of them that just weren't competitive.
For sure.
Whereas now, all of them are really competitive choices.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying some of these out. Really
Yeah.
am. So why don't we start at the beginning then? First of all, engage on all fronts. No changes here. There was nothing wrong with it, and that's why there's no changes. You saw it being taken regularly.
It's just a good secondary.
Okay. Then next up is behind enemy lines.
So this one's changed from Line Breaker, which previously was 4 victory points at the end of your turn if you had 2 or more units wholly in your opponent's deployment zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can partially score it for 2 points if you have 1 unit in your opponent's deployment zone, and you still get the 4 for 2.
I really like it.
Yeah, just getting 1 in your opponent's deployment zone is far easier.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of nice because towards the end of the game where your forces start to get whittled down,
Yeah.
you can still get a little bit out of this. I like that. Next up, Stranglehold.
Yeah, so previously this was domination. Score 3 points at the end of your turn if you hold more than half of the total objectives on the map. This was horrible on maps that had 6 objectives.
Yeah.
But now, so much better.
Yeah, all you have to do is hold 3 and more. So as long as you fulfill both those requirements, you get the points.
So now you can aim to hold 3 and just clear your opponent off of 1, so they're only holding 2. You can play this on any mission now and score it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right then, what else have we got here? We've got no prisoners.
Previously it was thin their ranks. It was doubled up with things like bring them down.
Super easy to score sometimes, wasn't it? Really easy.
Now it still has the you keep a tally, and for every 10 points on your tally you get a victory point.
Mm-hmm.
But now it doesn't count vehicles, monsters or characters, and it counts the number of wounds on models destroyed.
Yeah.
So Primaris count 2 for your tally.
Gravis 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so much better.
Yeah, and
it doesn't double up with other secondaries anymore.
yeah, characters have got their own one. Assassinate. Vehicles and monsters have got their own one.
Yeah, not doubling up, and also kind of having a pseudo gangbusters for anyone that's played ITC from 8th edition. It's so much better.
Awesome, awesome. So grind them down, or attrition as some of you might know it. No changes to that.
Yep.
And then we have to the last.
Yes, previously it was While We Stand We Fight, which was 5 points for each of your most expensive units that are still alive at the end of the game. It was abused by combat squads and things like Unleash the Lions for Alaris Terminators.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if only part of your unit, so if your combat squad a unit of 10 and one of those units of 5 is destroyed but the other one's still alive, you only get 3 for that unit now. You still get 5 if both are still alive, but it's less abusable, still very scoreable, but...
And it makes it very viable for your opponent to kind of neuter the amount of points you can get from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Really good. For the Alaris Terminators one, you only have to kill 1, right?
Yeah, so previously a unit of, say, 10 Alaris Terminators with Unleash the Lions became 10 units of 1. If you had to kill all 10 individual units to stop me getting 5.
Yeah, and you still get 3, but it's,
yeah.
You're saving on 2 victory points just by killing 1 Terminator.
Yeah.
It's a good change. Okay then, so moving on to Purge the Enemy, Assassination. Well, very minor changes here. Still 3 for a character, but you also get an additional bonus point if you kill the Warlord.
Yep, it's just a fun thing, like it makes Warlord more relevant.
Yeah. I suppose people might be ever so slightly less willing to sacrifice their Warlord early on.
They did cut off the head. So the secondary that was entirely about killing the Warlord, they removed it.
Oh, good. And then Titan Hunter. This is big. This is really big.
Knights are playable. Previously, you got 10 points for killing 1 knight, 12 for killing 2, and 15 for killing 3. Now you only get 4 for the first knight, 9 for the second, and 15 if you kill 3.
Yeah, instead of, what was it? It was 10 on the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before?
Previously, it was 10 points for killing 1 Titanic,
Yeah.
which made so many Titanic units just not playable.
Yeah, yeah. And then bring it down.
Yep, so bring it down. Literally just got the new FAQ wording to it. There's no changes there.
Yeah, good. I mean, you saw it being taken all the time.
Yeah.
No changes. Makes sense. So then on to Warcraft, we've got Abhor the Witch, which is exactly the same as it was post FAQ the last time round. Warp Ritual, I love the changes to this.
Oh, yes. Psychic Ritual was so hard to score before because it was one Psyker had to do the action 3 times.
Yeah, could be denied.
Yeah. It can still be denied, but previously it was very all or nothing.
Yeah.
Now it's progressive, and any character can do it to add 1 to your tally. It's not one character has to do it all 3 times anymore. And for your tally, you get 3 points if you do it once, 7 if you do it twice, and 12 if you do it 3 times. So it's no longer a 15-point secondary, but it is infinitely more scoreable.
Yeah. So only one can attempt to do it per turn, but still, the changes here, it stops you getting it off twice, and then your opponent either just denying it or killing that character and not having to worry about it.
And losing you 15 victory points. Yeah.
So this actually might be my favourite one.
Oh yeah, Psychers are back in the game. These Psychic secondaries are so much more worth it.
Yeah. Pierce the Veil, I don't think there's any changes to that, is there?
No, not that we noticed when we were looking through.
Okay. And then lastly in Warcraft we've got Psychic Interrogation. Changes from Mental Interrogation, you still get 3 points for doing it. The minor changes are the range is increased from 18 to 24, but now you must be in line of sight. So I actually really like the changes to this because it means you can't hide your Psyker behind a building and reach out and get these 3 easy points per turn. If you want if you want the points from this, you have to kind of put your Psyker at least in a little bit of danger.
Well, if you remember the game that I played, the Harlequins, I abused that so much.
Yeah. I wasn't going to mention that directly, but yeah. So that's the Warcraft stuff, and then Shadow Operations, yeah.
Yeah. So Raise the Banners again hasn't changed. It's good secondary. People were taking it. It's reliable on some missions, not as good on others, but it's still a good secondary.
For sure. I'm really a big fan of this next one as well. Investigate Signal replaces Investigate Sites.
Yeah. Investigate Sites was so hard to do before because if your opponent went first, you just couldn't do the action.
Mm-hmm. So what it means, instead of where before you could deny your opponent getting this by just sending a cheap unit into the centre of the board to ruin the action for your opponent, it was very easy to sort of cancel out. Now you can attempt to perform the action at the start of your turn, and all you have to do is make sure that by the end of it you've removed all the enemy models from the centre of the board.
So no more sticking a unit of cultists into the middle just to stop this action. Yeah. Because cultists die like anything.
Yeah. Now I look at this, I'm thinking, Deathwing, Terminators, Oaths of Moment in the middle, and Investigate Signal.
Yeah.
It's something I'm going to have to try for sure. So the next one up is Retrieve Octarius Data. Bit of a mouthful, I'm not sure why they've named it that exactly, but here we go.
It's definitely very 40k and Grimdark.
It is. It replaces the old Scramblers, doesn't it?
Yeah, so previously Scramblers was very all or nothing. You had to do an action once in your deployment zone, once in no man's land, and once in your opponent's deployment zone for 10 points. Now it's progressive. If you do the action twice, it's 4 points. If you do the action 3 times, it's 8 points. If you do the action 4 times, it's 12 points. Now the important thing here is it's harder to score because you could have to do it 4 times to max it out now.
Yep.
But it is in the table quarters now. So that is a massive change.
Yeah.
And makes it so you could play it on any map.
Yeah. I think this is a pretty good change. I don't think you're going to be seeing it taken any less often. I think it's still a good positive secondary. I'm actually looking forward to the challenge of playing.
I think you'll see it less often Partly because it's harder to score it over 4 turns than it was to score over 3 turns.
Okay.
Because you can't just straight score it out of deep strike like you could before.
Right.
But I also think you'll see it less often because there are so many other good options now.
That's a very good point, actually. That's a very good point. Yeah. And then we have deploy teleport homers.
Yeah.
Some good changes here too.
It was previously teleport homer. You had to have a infantry wholly in your opponent's deployment zone to start the action, and then it finished in your command phase for 4 points. Now you can do it kind of in no man's land for partial points. So you just have to be within 12 of your opponent's deployment zone.
Yep.
And you can do the action for 2 points if you're within 12 of their opponent's deployment zone.
Yeah.
And still 4 points if you're in all the way in their deployment zone.
And here's the bit I like. You can actually do it with a biker unit now as well.
Yeah. So your Raven Wing characters, like I'm thinking about a Dawn Eagle Jet Bike Captain. Like then those things are fast.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Harlequin bikers can do this.
They're not characters though.
Is this only bikers?
Oh no, it doesn't have to be characters. Yeah, so,
yeah.
So Harlequin bikes can do it.
So you gone are the days, sadly, where you saw 15 Harlequin bikes in a list. Maybe they've fallen a bit out of favour, but maybe taking like 3 squads of 2 or something for something like this.
I mean, it's annoying you have to advance to be able to get the 3+ invuln on the Harley bikes. Because if you didn't have to advance, just putting a unit up there with the 3+ invuln doing the action would be crazy.
There's a lot of fun changes coming in 40k at the moment, and I'm really excited by the new tournament pack.
Yeah, it's like all these secondaries are so much better, and I think you'll see a much more varied use of secondaries, especially in the competitive scene.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Anything else to add?
No, that's all from me.
Brilliant. Well, from him and me, and of course Big E, we'll see you later.